First of all, I want to thank Brad, Paul, and Ezra and Julie for getting this discussion started earlier than in the fall, as what was told at the last meeting that we had. I've been asking ever since September 2013, when are we going to talk about it? So I'm really excited that we're starting this. And first of all, I wanted to compliment Brad for his staff report. I thought it was a great first start. I wanted to first mention that Marin delegates, we met the last Monday in April, I think it was April 28th. We had 9 out of the 11 cities attend, and at least half of the cities that attended did not only send their delegate, but they sent their alternate as well. Huge representation. In fact, on your list, that's on page 1, item 9, the list of the attendees. 1 was left off. I thought we were going to have an updated list sent around, but I guess that didn't happen. Belvedere came, and a person who is going to be in office, who's going to be the ABAG delegate, Marty Winter, was there. Corte Madera does not have a number next to it because they dropped out of ABAG, but I've involved Corte Madera because my hope someday, hopefully they'll come back into ABAG, and I think that hopefully that may happen sometime. But we did a brainstorming session. It was fantastic. And actually, I need to back up. 3 members of the public came, and we asked them to join at the table, and they participated, which was just fascinating. So we brainstormed 1 page of all the things that went well. And then we had 7 pages of things that did not go well. And there's some ones that I just want to highlight. We're going to be meeting either the end of May or the first part of June, and then we're going to be agreeing on the wording of this entire list that we don't want to make public yet, because we want to make sure that the words accurately reflect what we talked about, because as you know, the brainstorming rule, you get it up on the flip chart, but you don't worry about how it's written. Just get the idea up there. So we intend in Marin County to send each ABAG Executive Board a letter with all of the things that we felt went well and things that need to be improved. And then the next step is some of the things that we would like to suggest to help make this update more effective. Some of the things that needs improvement, that did not go well, that I wanted to highlight, and I'm not saying all of them, use accurate population, housing, and jobs numbers, and that's that whole DOF, ABAG, and MTC fiasco that happened. Secondly, the words, meaningful opportunities for city and town elected officials and public to be involved. The word meaningful is very important. Public outreach. The person actually said this clicker concept was inappropriate because it did not give us real choices. They were pre-selected alternatives. Limited water availability supply should be factored into the plan and the update. Poor process, time constraints, limited ability to comment and get involved, and was totally unacceptable. In fact, the EIR, people didn't have, it was so long, it was 8 volumes, to review and comment, and there were so many, 30 days or 45 days, there's no way anybody, no human being, could read that many volumes of an EIR, which was my business for over 40 years, in that 45-day period, even if it was my full-time job. Special interests should not dictate the alternatives in the EIR and Plan Bay area. The general assemblies that we had throughout the 4-year process that this was being developed, not once was Plan Bay area talked about eliciting meaningful input from elected officials that were attending those general assemblies. Last but not least, and you're going to get them all before the next meeting, difficult for the public to have regional agencies come in and do public involvement It left the local agencies trying to fix the damage done. So there's a lot of passion in that meeting, and I want to thank Brad Paul publicly for coming and participating in the discussion. Some of the things that I talked to Brad about this afternoon a little bit after reading his plan, I think that the very first thing that we as a board should talk about, what are going to be the components of an update? What are the required elements of an update? What is it supposed to include? What is it going to look like? We need to make sure that it becomes a bottoms-up approach. So then we take those elements that we think should be in the update, we go to each county, get input from each of the delegates, the cities, and the public on what do you think about this approach? That being, what is the update going to look like? And get their input at the very beginning, because if you don't start that process now, we're not going to be able to achieve some of the objectives that Brad has outlined. A timeline. In fact, I sent out Brad Paul's presentation to all the Marin delegates, the city delegates, and the alternates. And I also got requests from public. So I sent it out to them. And I got comments from 8 individuals from the public, which each board member has a copy of in front of you. I really implore you, in your nighttime reading, take a look at what they said and really read it with an open mind. Then lastly, I think we need to really engage the locally elected officials and the public at each step of the process of this update. And let's do meaningful public input and allow the public and elected officials to feel that they're making a difference. So I have some other ideas, but I know in the interest of time, hopefully we'll have some more discussion about this, but those are my preliminary comments.
Thanks, Pat. Mary Ann?